if it's something that you truly believe in, then get excited about it. Hey there, welcome to my epic journey. This is Brandon DeVere. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and sharing your time with me. I do appreciate that. Here we are on the journey from 600 to 0 to 600 plus and everything that falls in between. Again, another little layoff here in between. I was actually up in Washington State, went back home. As you know, if you've listened before, I had a friend that was a childhood friend. Actually, we go so far back that our grandfathers were actually like roommates and worked on the railroad in like the 30s, the 1930s. I guess we're coming up on some new 30s here soon. But unfortunately, he had been sick for a while, and he passed away at the age of 43. And we went up to do kind of a little celebration, not a full on memorial. We have a couple more things planned for him. But this one was just a gathering in a place that he loved. It's called Fish Lake up in Washington State, about an hour drive on a dirt road into just amazing, beautiful lake greenery. Up there so far that in June there was still some snow up there, not necessarily on the ground, but some patches every now and again, a couple different spots there. But went there to do a little honoring there, and went up there just for a quick couple days to do a quick memorial for him. And I got a couple of his possessions that his wife gave to me that she thought would be meaningful, and they were very, very grateful for that. Very grateful for friendships that I've been able to forge for 4 decades. I'll be 43 here in a couple months, and I've known him my entire life, and I have about 35 others that I probably have known 35 plus years or more. That it's not lost on me. It very, very much am happy for that, because it is, you don't see that often when you get out into the bigger cities and things like that. I run into people here in Vegas all the time that don't believe me, that I've known these people for this long, and how close we've been, and all of our parents have been close too. So just that's kind of where I was over the weekend, and until yesterday. I got home yesterday afternoon, and it was a quick but very, very long stretch. I got to hang out with some friends and family members as well. So that was cool. But I just wanted to I just got off a call with an agent that had been interested in Epique, and we ended up talking we were on a call for almost 2 hours, I think, probably about hour 45. And originally it was scheduled for about an hour. So about 45 minutes over. But it was one of those great conversations where you have, you both are interested in the same thing. You both have the ideologies. Your visions are aligning. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite things. And people have visions and also different skill sets. Like him and his wife are interested, and they both have amazing skill sets. They complement both each other's, but also if they do decide to join, they complement mine as well. And those are the things that I really look for this. So it's not just one person like doing all the work, and you can actually collaborate in a way that everyone can kind of benefit from. So it was really, really fun. But one of the things that he said, and it's funny because again, we learn these things, and you've heard me mention multiple times, especially most recently because I started going through it again, is Building an Empire, Brian Carruthers' book. And one of the things that he talks about is getting excited. Like, get excited about what you're doing, and it's tough to be tough for people to not like get excited with you, right? If you're super excited about what you're talking about and what you're getting into, it's very difficult for somebody to just be like, yeah, like mirroring, right? You can we did this exercise when we were at a PowerOn here in Vegas a couple months ago, and one of the things was, it said, stand across from your partner and just look at them and smile. The whole goal was that you just smile, and the other person is not supposed to smile. And it was pretty cool, because it's actually one of our agents here, Susie, that she was my partner. I was supposed to smile at her, and she was supposed to not. And it was actually pretty cool, because like you could feel like the energy shift and change a little bit. And she looks at me, and like about halfway through, she's like, I'm not going to be very good at this. And or she's actually said that at the beginning, and then about halfway through, you could just see her eyes kind of water. And then at the end, she's like, I love you too. And then we just gave each other a big hug, which I thought was pretty coal, because it was just straight smiling. Like she could feel that energy. So when you're getting excited about it, it's very difficult for somebody to be like, I mean, even if you hear like yourself, get into state, like Tony Robbins talks about getting into state. Like if you're on the phone and you're just sitting like this, like people can feel that you're like not excited, you're not into it. But then you get up and you walk around and you're like, yeah, this, I love this. This is amazing. All this. People start to feel that excitement with you. And the reason that I say that is because I had a call yesterday, and on that call, he was telling me, again, watching these videos, my episodes and my YouTube videos and things like that. And I mentioned again today is that I do it this way so people get a chance to know who I am and know what I'm about. It's very difficult. Like, none of this stuff is scripted. It's very difficult for me to go on for, I believe this is the 80th episode. For 80 episodes, it's tough for me to go on that long, unscripted, and you not really get a sense of who I am and what I'm about and what it is that I want to do. Most of the time, I'm not in here selling you epic things. Like, hey, here's like a tutorial on what Epique is. Yes, I have those. Those are very specific, and I use those at times when people need to learn strictly about Epique, right? But not every episode needs to be learning just about Epique, right? Like, if you were going to choose me to be your sponsor, or choose someone in my downline to join as a sponsor, and be in my organization or downline, you'd want to know what it's also like to work with me, because working with Epique is going to be the same with whoever, but you have an idea. You can, and I told this to the gentleman I was on the conversation with, or on the call with earlier. I said, the best part is when we get to this point and people want to have the conversation with me, the conversation becomes much easier for both of us. Like, there's no guard up. There's no like, oh, what's he going to sell me? What's he going to sell me? There is, hey, let's have this conversation. And how does all this look? Right? You get to that conversation. And the best part, which most people are very fearful of, which I invite, which is perfectly fine for me, is that most people aren't going to go. They aren't like, if they go, man, this guy's an idiot. I don't like anything that he says. Like, I'd rather join XYZ or go to a different brokerage or whatever. For the most part, I don't ever have to ever have a conversation with that person. So now my conversations become more about the people who want to have a conversation with me than me trying to convince people to have a conversation with me. So people that see this video might go, oh, wow, I'd really like to talk to him. And then we have a conversation. And people who don't like it, don't like anything that I've done, don't like me for whatever reason. And it could be a number of different reasons. Maybe they actually have a valid reason, and we've had interactions in the past and they don't like who I am. That's fine. Or they don't like, the conversation we had. Or there's also other things that I might look like their ex. Like, I might sound like them. I might do something like I'm a Seahawks fan. I might have somebody that's a 49ers fan that says I would never work with a guy who's a Seahawks fan. Like, I don't really care what fan you are. I mean, I'll talk trash for sure during the season, but I'm not going to limit my business, especially for something that doesn't translate to anything for me, what happens on the field. But the reality is, like, that can happen. There's people will not like you for any reason. And sometimes it's in your control, and sometimes it's not. Most of the time it's not. And but this is kind of like a buffer for that. They get to come see who I am before they even reach out, right? And so, again, getting back to what I was saying is, when I was talking to the gentleman yesterday, he said that I've seen a couple videos so far, not related just to Epique, but in other brokerages, like trying to recruit people, where it is strictly about what it doesn't seem real to him. And I told him, like, this is kind of why I've structured it this way. And then after the call that I just got on now, he said, and again, I bring this up because in Brian Carruthers' book, he talks about like you got to be excited about what you're doing. And those are things that I should internalize, and like, hey, I know I need to be excited right now. I need to be excited. But when this gentleman said, he's like, I love your passion. Like, you're super excited about everything. We align, like all this stuff. So I'm very hopeful that, there's some, we can collaborate at some level, with him and together. But I didn't realize I was being super excited about it. I wasn't like, hey, you need to be excited about what you're doing. But I was excited, and it came off as excitement. He felt the excitement and was also excited to see what the future could bring. And again, it wasn't me consciously telling myself, hey, you need to be excited about this. You need to be excited about this because you need to sell somebody on something. It was just being excited. Like, it was believing in what I'm talking about and the things that I'm doing to try and enhance, obviously trying to enhance my life and my family's life. But the reason I chose this avenue is because I have the ability to do that for other people. And that's why I enjoy the agent attraction the recruiting aspect of it, and building a downline and organization, just so people have the opportunity to benefit from my experiences, and I get to be excited about it. There's a lot of people that get very, very excited about selling homes. They do, and I did at one point. That's just not where I'm at now. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just something different than what I'm at. So if we sat there and we talked about like a listing presentation or something like that, like you probably wouldn't see my excitement in that. But if we talked about housing stats, like you're not going to see my excitement in there. But when we're talking about growth and putting agents in positions to succeed, wherever they're at, it doesn't even matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't, like I love the agent growth, regardless of, and self-development. I love all that stuff. I love watching people become better, and it doesn't necessarily have to be at Epique, right? It doesn't have to be within real estate. Like I love celebrating my friends. We come from a very, very small town, and I have friends that crush it in real estate. I have friends that are pilots. I have friends that are doctors and surgeons and all this stuff from this very small town. And you have a friend that I can't remember what it's called. I don't think it's a shipmate, but he's like not a shipmate, like a first officer or something. But he runs luxury yachts all across the world. Like that is something we never even heard of growing up. And I root for him, and I love to watch all these people succeed, and especially when they're about growth and helping other people. I am not a fan. I'll be fully transparent. I'm not a fan of people succeeding on the backs of others when it hurts those people. Like if this is a big thing that I get people that they get they're like, oh, it's an MLM and you're a pyramid and you're making money. You only want them to be on your team so that you can make money. You only want them to join so you can make money. Yes, you do I make money off of other people's work. 100%. Absolutely. Every business owner does, right? Every single business owner will make money off of what they're doing. Every brokerage you're in makes money off of what other people are doing. So I don't take that as a bad thing. I do take it as a bad thing if you are purposely limiting the growth of your employees or your agents or anyone else of your staff, so that you can incrementally give yourself more. And I'll say this, I'll probably come back to this one because I'm going to end here. But I listened to an interview yesterday with Theo Vaughn and Dana White. And if you're not listening to Dana White, I don't care like your political beliefs or anything like that. That guy is rooting for people, and I mean, I was blown away by the interview. I'll probably talk about that again at some point. But get excited, root for people, help for people. Let's go. All right. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great one.